Well, George, since you stepped down, the welterweight division of the UFC is really gotten very, very interesting. As you said, you dominated this division for years. And we recently saw a very, very entertaining title fight, maybe one of the best fights of all time. Your teammate, Rory MacDonald, he came up short against Robbie Lawler. You weren't there in attendance that night, but I'm sure you saw it. What's your take on the fight, and yeah, what's your opinion on Rory's performance that night?
Yeah, Rory is a good friend of mine and training partner. I think he did a great job on you know, until he got caught by that last straight left. The question is, for me, I still believe Rory will be world champion one day. I just believe maybe it wasn't meant to be right now, but I still believe it doesn't change the fact that I still think he's the future of the division. You know, if you look at Robbie Lawler, his career went up and down before he became champion. And I think sometimes it's just to be patient with time and experience, you know. But I truly believe for Rory, you know, I have a message for him. I could tell him. I know he's probably, you know, sad and everything, you know, because when you lose a fight, you're very sad and sometimes emotion about it. But you know, not give up on his dream, you know, hold on to it. And, you know, by seeing him training and talking to him, I knew he's the future of the division. It just wasn't meant to happen right now, but it will be pretty soon.
Did you have a chance to talk to him in person, because you have a lot on the table, and did you see him in person after the fight?
I did not see him in person after the fight because I live in Montreal, and I think his family is mostly in the west part of Canada, in Kelowna. I think he went back in Kelowna to see his family. That's what he does normally after a fight. But, you know, after a fight, the last thing you want to hear is, hey, what I did wrong. Well, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to come straight to him. I want him to digest what happened, digest his loss, so to speak, you know, to walk it out. Then maybe when he come back in Montreal, I'll tell him what I think he should have done a little bit different, or, you know, see what maybe he can take something from me and use it in a positive way, or maybe, you know, it depends how he see things, you know.
What do you think who Robbie Lawler should face next? I mean, the obvious matchup would be the trilogy fight against Johnny Hendricks, a man that you know very well too. Or there are rumors right now, very strong rumors, that he might face Carlos Condit, a man that you also know very well. So what's your opinion on that? Yeah,
Carlos Condit is a nightmare. He's the kind of guy that He's a nightmare, Carlos Condit. If of all the guys that I would not want to fight again, it would be Carlos Condit, because Carlos Condit is kind of guy that he's good. He's very well-rounded, and things can come out of every angle from everywhere. Johnny Hendricks is very good at what he does. Not as surprising as Carlos Condit, but he's very good. He's very good at what he does. You know, he hits very hard with his left. But I do believe right now, if you talk about ranking and positioning, I believe right now the man that deserves the title shot would be Johnny Hendricks. That's what I believe. But Carlos Condit is not far behind. And on a 5-round fight, I believe right now in the mix, Carlos Condit might be the most dangerous guy. He has more weapon in his arsenal, and you never know when where it's coming from. It's just a nightmare fighting a guy like this.
Wow, that's a pretty harsh statement. So you think if Condit would get the fight, he would win?
I believe if I would have to bet, let's say I have no choice, you know, between Lawler, Hendricks, and Condit, I believe Condit is the one that will emerge victorious. That's on a 5-round fight. He's a nightmare.
He really is. Now, George, we're here at an Under Armour event, so I'm a bit afraid to ask, but how do you like the new Reebok uniforms?
Well, I like the Under Armour much better.
But, you know, what's your take on the whole situation around it? I mean, there was a lot of talk about it, and, you know, we didn't really hear your opinion on it. The whole financial compensation thing for the lost sponsors that fighters have. I mean, Stitch Duran, the famous cutman, he just got released, which caused a big shitstorm on the internet. What's your whole take on this situation?
I haven't followed the whole drama of Stitch Duran. Unfortunately, I've been busy. I was in Thailand and just get back on town. The only thing I know is I'm with Under Armour right now. I'm not. My contract might be is different than the other people's contract. I have a good management team, and these are questions that is for my management. You know, with our contractual contract, I don't have nothing bad to say about Reebok or UFC, and I'm with Under Armour. I'm a part of the family of Under Armour, and I'm very happy with that.
Well, obviously you are. Just to update you on the situation, Stitch, he spoke up publicly because he lost so many sponsors and he didn't get some financial compensation for it, and he got cut of the UFC, by the UFC for that one day later or something. This caused a big shitstorm. Can you understand the decision by the UFC? I mean, you obviously know Stitch very well. He, you know, worked lots of your fights. Can you understand that?
Yeah, no, I don't know what has been said and done. You know, from my point of view, Stitch was, you know, I always had a friendly relationship with Stitch. I think he did my hand a couple of times, and he was great, great guy to be around.